Hi everybody, I'm at home and we're going to make yogurt with the Instant Pot. First thing is I'm going to add 2 cups of powdered milk, or approximately 2 cups, into my Instant Pot. There we go. Step 2, now I'm going to add 2 liters of milk to the Instant Pot. I'm using whole milk. You can do whatever you want. It'll still work pretty good, but whole milk makes it really good. Very careful here. If you go too fast, it'll drip. There we go, 2 liters of whole milk. Now I'm going to use a handheld blender to blend the powdered milk into the milk. You got to be careful not to be too aggressive or it may spray over the whole room. And you can also use a whisk if you want. It just does a little bit more elbow grease, that's all. There we go, that's about it. So now we have our milk mixed with our milk powder, 2 liters of milk, 2 cups of milk powder. And next thing, we're going to push some buttons. So every Instant Pot is a little different, but they all follow some of the basic principles. And what you want is to touch the yogurt button, and you don't want it to say 8. That means it's going to incubate the yogurt for 8 hours. That'll come next. So what you're going to do is hit the adjust button till it says boil. When it says boil, that means it's not really going to boil. Boiling point is about 212 Fahrenheit. This is going to come up to 180 Fahrenheit or thereabouts, and that will pasteurize the milk once more so that there are no extra bacteria that can spoil the yogurt and make it taste kind of gross. What you want to do is introduce probiotic bacteria, bacteria that are going to make your tummy very happy. So once you can see the boil, then you leave it, put the lid on it. Doesn't matter whether the pressure valve is on or off because it's not going to boil. It's not going to create steam in any significant quantity. So just wait until you hear a beep. Go watch a show, do whatever, it takes a while. It's got to get up to 180 Fahrenheit, and when it beeps, then you got to cool it down to the next temperature. So when you put it in your starter, it doesn't kill all the bacteria. You got to get it down to a temperature close to human body temperature, because we're going to be working with bacteria that live inside your body when your body is healthy. They're part of the healthy gut flora, the bacteria that inhabit your colon, and to some extent your mouth and your esophagus, and even to some extent in your upper GI tract. But you primarily want these bacteria in your colon, and so they have to be incubated at nearly body temperature. Okay, the yogurt has beeped, and now it's changed to something that looks kind of like yogurt. And what that means is that it has stopped heating it up to a pasteurization temperature where it says boiling. It beeps, and then it goes to something that says yogurt, which means it's holding it at a temperature that would be the temperature that you need to be able to incubate the yogurt. But the problem is that it's very hot milk in there, and it will take a long time for that to cool down, leaving it like this. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cancel that, turn it off, and I'm going to remove the milk and set it on the counter for a while. And now I'm going to cover it with a dish towel and leave it sit on the counter for a couple hours or so. Let it cool down on its own. And once it gets down to around human body temperature, or the temperature of a human body with a fever, then I know that the bacteria that I put in there will live, and I'll put it back in the Instant Pot for the night, and it will incubate, and in the morning it will be yogurt. Okay, this has been sitting for quite a while. Let's check the temperature. Ooh, that's still too hot. If I put the starter in now, it will kill all the bacteria. So what I have to do is put some water in the sink, and I'm going to carefully put this in the water, and Stir that for a few minutes, probably no more than 3 or 4 minutes, and that will be down to the temperature that I'm looking for, which again is about the same temperature as a human body, somewhere around 98 to 102 Fahrenheit. Okay, I've been stirring it for a few minutes and it is now 101 degrees. Perfect. So now I'm ready with my yogurt starter. This has been in the refrigerator since the last batch because I use just a couple of, maybe 3 tablespoons of yogurt from the batch. I saved that before I put the yogurt into a container and put it in the refrigerator, and then this stays in the fridge for next time. So that will go into the new milk. Come on, out you go. Good. And then I add a few more probiotics. This is, there we go. There's a probiotic that I have been using. I think I've had this bottle for at least a year. So every time I make yogurt, I add a few capsules, maybe 6 capsules of this one and 6 capsules of this one. This is one from Japan. They actually make very popular yogurt in Japan with this probiotic by itself. But I find if you start with a starter that you can order online, like an actual yogurt starter, or even go to the store and buy some plain yogurt and use that, but then add a bit more probiotics to it, you get this most amazing, delicious yogurt. And then of course it's got so many good bacteria, your intestines will be very happy with you doing that. So I've emptied 6 capsules from each of those bottles, 6 from each bottle, and it's just sitting on the top like powder. So now I'm going to take a whisk. You can use a hand blender as well, but I'm going to just spend a few seconds whisking that up, try to get everything nicely blended. The powdered probiotics, they're freeze-dried, so they resist hydration a little bit at first, but if you go after it with a whisk, a few seconds later, it's nicely blended. Next step, put it back in the Instant Pot. So now it's back in the Instant Pot. It's just milk and yogurt starter, and it's around human body temperature. So I'm going to put the lid on. There we go. I'm going to go back to the yogurt button. So, and again, every control panel on an Instant Pot is a little bit different, but they all have a yogurt button. And what you want to look for is you press the yogurt button and you want to see 8 hours and normal. That means it's not going to go back to the boiling or pasteurizing cycle again. What it's going to do is it's going to count from 0 to 8 hours, and it's going to hold it at the temperature that's ideal for incubation of yogurt, which is around human body temperature. And so this is just before bed, and when I wake up in the morning, there will be beautiful yogurt that I will take out of the Instant Pot, put it into a container that I use to store in the fridge, and then I have 2 liters of amazing homemade yogurt once again. Okay, it's the morning. The yogurt has finished its 8-hour cycle, and once it's done, it displays yogurt again. So let's have a look, see how it worked. You know it worked when you go in and you jiggle it. Oh yeah, it's like Jello, nice. So first thing you do is you get a clean spoon, preferably one you've dipped in boiling water to make sure it's really clean, and you put it into a small container. I usually put, well, 2 or 3 tablespoons is enough, but let's just, there we go, that's good enough. So that's our starter. And then we fill this with the yogurt. There we go. And if it's been sitting for quite a while, like this is more than 8 hours, you might have to give it a mix and put it back in the fridge. It's going to go in the fridge and it'll get really jello-y once it cools down. So there it is, nice thick yogurt. It's going to get really thick in the fridge, and it's going to be spectacular.